Welcome to our channel. Our today's topic is force and pressure for class 8th. First of all, what do you mean by force? Force is a push or pull on an object. For example, if an object has to be moved, it has to be pushed or pulled. As you can see the pictures given below. Second is force is due to interaction. When an interaction of one object on another object results in force between two objects, there is interaction. For example, if a man stands behind a car, the car will not move, but when he will push the car begins to move. The car will move as the force is applied. Now is exploring force. When two forces act on a body in the same direction, the net force will be sum of two forces. Means net force is equal to force 1 plus force 2. And if two forces they are acting on a body in opposite directions, the net force will be difference between that two forces. For example, net force is 10 and other net force is also 10 from the both directions. So if we will minus 10 minus 10, it will be 0. So the net force is 0. Now is fourth, effecting of force on an object. What are the effects when an object has force on it? First is force can make an object to move from rest. It can stop a moving object. It can change the speed of an object if it is moving. It can change the direction of a motion of an object. It can change the shape also of an object. It may cause one or more of these effects. Types of forces. Mainly there are two types of forces: contact forces, non-contact forces. Contact forces is further divided into two parts, that is muscular force and force of friction. And non-contact force is also divided into two or three parts: magnetic force, electrostatic force, gravitational force. It has three types. So contact forces, these forces exert one object on another when they are in contact with each other. Non-contact force are the forces exerted by one object on another without any contact with each other. So contact forces, first part is muscular force. Muscular force is the force exerted by the muscles of our body. We use muscular force for our various activities. Animals like bullocks, horses, camels, donkeys, elephants also use muscular force to perform various tasks. And in force of friction, in this force which opposes the motion of an object over a surface is known as force of friction. For example, a ball is rolling on the ground and gradually slows down and comes to rest due to the force of friction. And if we stop paddling a bicycle, it gradually slows down and comes to stop due to force of friction. Now is seventh, non-contact force. Its first part is magnetic force. This force is always exerted by magnets, as this is indicating by its name. For example, force of attraction and repulsion between two magnets. Force exerted by a magnet on a piece of iron or a steel. Second is electrostatic force. This force is exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body. For example, a plastic straw charged by rubbing with paper attracts a suspended plastic straw, or a plastic straw charged by rubbing with paper repels a suspended plastic charged by rubbing with paper due to its like poles or unlike poles. Third is gravitational force. This force is exerted by the earth on all objects. It pulls all objects towards the earth. For example, a coin or pen falls down when it slips off your hand. A ball thrown upwards falls down. Leaves and fruits fall to the ground when they get detached from the plant. Water in river flow downwards. Pressure. This is the force acting on unit area of a surface. Means pressure is equal to force upon area. Here thrust can also come up in the place of force. Thrust is known as the perpendicular pressure. If area is smaller, the pressure is more on the surface for the same force. For example, it is easier to push a nail into a wooden plank by its pointed end than its head because the pressure is more. It is easier to cut vegetable with a sharp knife than a blunt knife because the pressure is more. Shoulder bags have broad and not thin steps to reduce pressure. Now is pressure exerted by liquid gases known as hydrostatic pressure. This pressure on the walls of a container. This exert pressure on a bottom of container. It depend upon the height of the liquid column. Liquid exert sideway pressure. Liquids exert equal pressure at the same height. Tenth is pressure exerted by gases. Gases exert pressure on the walls of container. Atmospheric pressure. This is the pressure of air around us. This is due to weight of air. The weight of an air column of the height of the atmosphere and area 10 into 10 centimeter is as large as 1000 kg. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, remark and subscribe.